JR the Bossman Show. We have a great guest for you. Coming from Marist College, the Red Fox coach John Dunne with me. Coach Dunne, how are things up there in the Northeast, man, in New York? How are things going for you?
Nah, things are going great, JR. First off, thanks for having me on, man. Things are going great. We're settling in. I've been on the job here about 5 or 6 weeks, and the dust is starting to settle now, and got the staff in place, and got some recruits, ready to come, and some good additions that we think we have a pretty strong senior group returning for next year. And things are good, man. They've welcomed us with open arms up here, and just excited to be here.
Now, Coach, what about Marist? What about the administration, the AD, just the community that's in, and the school itself that made you decide to move from St. Peter's over to Marist here in the same conference there?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't an easy decision. It wasn't an easy decision. I mean, I was at my former job for 12 years. It was an emotional decision, but I think at the end of the day, being in the league for 12 years, you get to see all the positives of all the schools, and just admiring Marist from afar, as far as the beautiful campus, the high academic integrity they have here at the school, and it's still a small enough school where you can have that intimate feel of getting to know all your professors, 16-to-1, faculty student to faculty ratio, which was really important to me. And those are probably the particulars that drew me to the job. And I worked on the men's basketball committee for our conference in the MAC for the last 5 or 6 years, and you get to know all the athletic directors, and I always really respected Tim Marist. So when Tim gave me a call, then I was certainly willing to listen. And then obviously knowing everything I did about the school, I just knew that it was a good place for me and my family to take the plunge, man. I left leaving a good job wasn't easy, but at the end of the day, I think Marist is really worth it.
Yes, indeed, Coach. I have a buddy in your conference, Coach Witherspoon up there. One of my buddies, when he coached down in Chattanooga with Coach McCall there, me and him became real cool. And Coach Shannon, his other guy, Coach Shannon, me and him are cool as well. Whereas Coach lives in Atlanta, Coach Shannon does in Alpharetta. So I see him pretty often.
Yeah.
So I keep an eye on your conference.
I'm not sure. I wish Reggie wasn't in the league, man, because he's a good coach, and he's doing some really good things up there. So we got our work cut out for us to try to keep up with him.
Now, Coach, looking at the roster here in Marist, now recruiting wise, can you kind of recruit the same guys who's recruiting at St. Peter's, or does the math change for you a bit being here at Marist from being over at St. Peter's here?
No, I mean, I think it's all the same. I mean, at the end of the day, our philosophy is always to try to recruit high character kids, and then obviously can play hoop, and that could hoop, but at the end of the day, you have to recruit guys that are good enough to win in your league, and you have to pinpoint, some higher level guys to be effective in the league that you're in. But at the end of the day, we want to do that with high character guys that want to represent not just themselves and their own families, but the Marist family with integrity and high character. I think first and foremost, that's the type of individual that we pinpoint, regardless of what institution that I was working for. So we've always done that. I've always done that, and I'll continue to do that. That'll be my philosophy. And at the end of the day, guys that want to go to class, right, want to get their degree. We already have ours as a staff, and they're here to get theirs. And at the end of the day, I have really good relationships with all my players. And the only way, I always tell them when I'm recruiting them, the only way we're not going to have a good relationship is if you're not handling your business academically, or if you're not representing us with character. If you do those things, and we'll have a great relationship. So that's who we pinpoint on the recruiting circuit, and that's the philosophy that I'll always follow.
Now, Coach, are you more of a high school freshman type, a JUCO, or a transfer, or international, or you kind of a mix of all four of those different ways to get players?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think you have to have a mix. In today's day and age, I don't know if you can, go totally one way or the other. I know there's some schools that might recruit, the transfer route or the junior college route a little bit more than others. But I think for me in particular, I would want to have a balance. I think to have a strong program, to have guys that are in your program for 4 years and that come in and sustain their careers in your program is always a big benefit. But in today's day and age, with as many transfers, that are leaving their schools, year in year out, I think you have to save one or two, every year to kind of see what's going on, in the transfer market. So I think a balance. I would never, we have some internationals on our roster now, and at the end of the day, I would always keep my eyes and my ears open if I have some leads, whether that's overseas or maybe in different parts of the country, maybe West Coast and whatnot. I'll follow any lead. But at the end of the day, we want to do our recruiting mainly in the Northeast, especially out of the high schools, but always, save one or two for the transfer market.
Now, Coach, I got a curiosity question for you, Coach. International kids, what are the rules on recruiting those guys? Because some of them may have played professionally before they came to college. So, what's the rule about those international kids coming from overseas to play for you guys over here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously over there they do a lot of they have the clubs, versus the high schools. You just have to make sure that they've never been paid, to play for any of the organizations or for any of the clubs over there. As long as they haven't been paid and have made any money, then usually everything is fine. But they still have to, pass through the NCAA clearinghouse and get the appropriate scores, with their transcripts to match up with an SAT or an ACT score that they have to take. So at the end of the day, they still have to get through the guidelines of the NCAA clearinghouse. And as long as they've done that and they've never been paid, to play, then everything is good as far as their recruitment.
Now, Coach, for those down here in Atlanta and our listening area who may not have seen your team play before at St. Peter's, how do your teams play typically? And are you a kind of a coach who will kind of base your style of play on the roster that you have available to you to play with?
Yeah, I think offensively, yes, 100%. We're going to play a style offensively based on the talent level that we have, and the style of guys that we have, the type of players that we have. Defensively, we're pretty much going to be consistent year in, year out as far as, we're a quarter court man-to-man team. It's what I've kind of hung my hat on in my career. Even when I was an assistant, most of the guys that I've worked for were man-to-man guys, and it's kind of just how I learned the game and how I see the game. I'm not a guy that likes to give up easy baskets. I don't want to give up baskets in transition. I don't like giving up baskets in the paint. But it's funny, we were finished we finished number one in defensive efficiency in the MAC last year. We're usually in the top 3 year in, year out, but in the last few years we've been in the top, in our league and turning our opponents over, even though we play our defense in the quarter court. I don't think you have to extend full court to be aggressive and to turn teams over. So we've gotten more aggressive over the years in quarter court, but we like to play with a toughness mentality on that end. But offensively, if I have the horses, then we'll get the ball down the court and shoot quickly but we want to take good shots. We want to be unselfish. We don't want to guard for 28 seconds and grind on the defensive end and give the ball back within 5 seconds, unless it's a really good shot.
Yeah, I get that, right.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, people say, well, defense wins championships, but I think balance wins. I think you gotta be able to guard, but you can't win without putting the ball in the basket, right? So, in my former job, the years that we had good balance, we did really well. We were pretty good defensively year in, year out, but the years we could put the ball in the basket were the years that we did well. So, we think we'll be able to recruit some good offensive players here to go along with our defensive mentality and have some good success here at Marist.
Now, Coach, are you using these workouts I know you're going to have 4 hours this year, instantly increase that rule. Will you be kind of implement more of your schemes now and try to build the team's morale and try to get everybody on the same page with each other using these 4 hours that you have now up from 2?
Yeah, I think so. I think it helps, especially in a new job to have the increase in the hours from 2 to 4 over the summer. We got 6 workouts in the spring after I had gotten the job here, so they got to hear my voice, for a few hours, throughout the spring and kind of got a little bit of a feel for me. We'll get a little bit more demanding and we'll nitpick a little bit more over the summer. But what we'll do is, we're just going to start on the defensive end and start implementing our principles and teaching our help philosophy, because we're a help. We're a help defensive team, and at the same time getting enough skill work in and trying to develop their games individually. But those are the 2 areas that we'll really focus on. We'll get a little bit of playing in, but mainly we'll be doing a lot of shell drill, a lot of defense, a lot of 3-on-3s, a lot of rebounding, rotations defensively, and trying to implement all of that while we're developing our individual games.
Also, now, Coach, your non-conference schedule-wise, Coach, I know that schedule's probably already done for you when you got there. So, going forward, will you be tweaking it to maybe test the team a little bit more, play more Northeastern schools, or maybe get some 2-for-1s or some guarantee games, or play some tournaments overseas, the exempt tournaments? So, what kind of you gonna think you'll do with your new job here at Marist?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're open to just about anything. I know they've played in a bunch of MTEs here in recent years. We're playing in another one this year, going over to Ireland and playing. I know they've been in Orlando one year in the Hall of Fame as well. So I know they're open to playing in some of these overseas MTEs, which I think is a big positive and helps recruiting. And yeah, I think we want to test ourselves for sure. With some of these higher level games. And I think, your fans get excited and the players get excited for those kind of games. But you also need to be careful, because there needs to be a balance. You want to give yourselves an opportunity to win. A lot of the games. Not to say you can't beat these higher level schools every now and again, but I think you want to be careful on how many you play, because I think it's really important that you not just test yourself, but you give yourself enough opportunity to have success in the non-conference, so you're feeling good about yourselves when you get into league play. So I think there's a balance there with giving yourself a very challenging schedule, but at the same time allowing yourself the opportunity to find confidence in the non-conference. Because at the end of the day, in a league like our level, it all comes down to what you've done in your league, and I think you want to have the most success that you can have in your league by gaining confidence in the non-conference.
Now, Coach, I like to ask coaches about this. Who are some guys in the business, personally, professionally, and just outside of business, who have really helped you in your career as a coach and make you the coach you are today as you lead the Marist Red Foxes going forward?
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. So 2 in particular come to mind. Probably I would say the 2 guys that have meant, I mean, there's been a handful of guys that have meant a lot to me, but the 2 in particular. So Steve Clifford, who was just his most recent job, he's the head coach of the Charlotte Hornets. I worked for him. Yeah, great guy, great person, great coach, but a high character guy, and not just a great basketball mind, but a guy that really cares about people. He had a major influence on me in my career, and we're still really close to this day. And I worked for him at Adelphi University in Long Island, somewhere in the mid '90s. And Louis Orr was my boss at Seton Hall, and another who's now with Patrick Ewing at Georgetown, and he is a guy that is just another really good coach, but a better person, and who had a major influence on me and my philosophy. And both of those guys, I feel are individuals that have reached high levels in their careers. And Lewis, even as a player, not just as a coach, but I think they both put people first, and they're both a very high character. And Jerry Rickroad is a guy that gave me my first opportunity, my first job at Wilkes University. He was the coach at Wilkes University, years ago. And so those three, but Lewis and Steve are guys I spent the most time with in the business and meant the most to me.
And final question for you is, Coach, now, how much of a whirlwind has this been for you coming from St. Peter's to Marist? I know it's not that far away from where you were living at. You probably didn't have to move. You probably can stay where you was at. But besides not having to move, probably, how crazy has it been for you trying to get this program up and going with you at the helm now?
Yeah, no, it's been a whirlwind, man. I mean, first of all, you get 500-600 texts in about 2 days' time when you get a job, and everybody wants you to respond within the half an hour, and get aggravated with you and think you're big time when you don't get back to them right away. So you're trying to return all your texts, your phone calls, and your emails in a timely manner. And a lot of guys, whether they want to join your staff or they want you to recruit their guys or just congratulatory messages. So you want to get back to them as soon as you can. And then obviously get to know your team, up here. You want to make sure you get your staff in order. So there's just a lot going on. And then the recruiting, obviously, right? Figuring out how many scholarships you have left and how you're going to use them. So it's a whirlwind. And on top of that, you have all the emotions going on of leaving a team that you were very, very close to, and then obviously I have a 13-year-old and an 8-year-old, and explaining to them what's going on. So it's certainly a whirlwind. There's a lot of emotions involved. A lot of sleepless nights. But it's you get through it on just on the energy of it all. Just on the adrenaline. It just gets you through it because you're excited about the future. But it's only a 90-minute drive for me, so it hasn't been bad. You come up on a Monday, you stay a couple nights here, you go back home, but you're not gone for a month, you're not gone for weeks at a time. It's just a few days, and then you kind of come back up. So it hasn't been that daunting on the family. So it's been a great experience, up to this point, man. And we're still just forging ahead and with a lot of enthusiasm and looking forward to what the future brings here at Marist.
Well, Coach, I'll tell you off the air, we're both lucky to have you in Atlanta. When next time you're in town, recruiting, or at a tournament, feel free to come by our studio here in Midtown Atlanta. We'd love to have you in studio. Love that when coaches come by here and see us live and in person when they're in town. So it's always a good thing for us in the show when you guys come in here and see us personally.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to take you up on that, JR. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, Coach, it's been great. We'll talk to you real soon, man.
All right, thanks, JR. Appreciate you having me on.
Tired of living day to day like everything's alright. Just waiting on that moment, waiting on my moment. Waiting on my moment.
All right, folks, back here on the Bossman Show, we have another new head coach. He coached at Georgia Tech, right down the street from studio here. Under Josh Pastner. Now he's moving on, got his own team, Loyola Greyhounds up there in Maryland. The Coach Tavaras Hardy on the show with me. Coach Hardy, how's it feeling to have your own program to lead now up there at Loyola?
Yeah, no, it's been great. Really excited about the opportunity. City of Baltimore has been awesome in welcoming me. It's a great, department altogether, the university, the athletic staff, all the student athletes I've had a chance to meet so far. So just really excited to get to work and, get this program going in the way it should be.
Now, Coach, when you was in the process of interviewing for this job, did you know that Loyola was going to be the program for you? Because I know being son of Coach Pass and you're getting a great experience working at a great school like Georgia Tech. So did you feel like this is probably the gig for you, the one that made you kind of say, hey, I could really grow here and set a foundation here and grow for a long time to come.
Absolutely. I wasn't looking. I wasn't jumping after everything that came open. This was a great fit for me for a lot of reasons. And obviously, I'm really thankful for Coach Pastner and Coach John Thompson III from Georgetown, and obviously Bill Carmody, who I worked for and played for at Northwestern. And so I felt prepared when I saw this opportunity open up. And, the Patriot League is a league I've always watched. I love the fact that they place tremendous value on a true student-athlete experience. It's great academics, and it's a great basketball conference. And, again, as I mentioned earlier, the city of Baltimore, I think that combination is a competitive advantage for us. And just really looking to get out there and hit the ground running and showcase, just what Loyola is all about. So when I saw the opportunity to go after a job like this, it was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, because like I was telling my staff off air, that Loyola's in a great spot because Loyola is in Baltimore. So you can go to D.C., you can go to New York, you can come down Atlanta, Charlotte. You got that I-95 corridor to yourself pretty much if you want it. Either way you go and find great players, whether it be transfers, high school freshmen, or, JUCO guys. If you want to find them, if you feel that's what you want. So I feel like you're in a great spot to bring in great guys, and you're in a nice city because kids like to have an urban city to a degree. So you're in an urban city near D.C., near up north, or you can come down south if you want to. Right in a great spot. You're winning on this one.
Absolutely. Yep. No, that was one of the main attractions. But obviously the Baltimore, the DMV area, Philadelphia, there's so much basketball talent there. So we got to take care of the crib first. That's very important to us. But at the same time, what I've always experienced, you look at the places I've coached, whether it's, D.C., Chicago, Atlanta, I believe you can attract people from major cities to major cities. And we have that opportunity in Baltimore because of what you said. I mean, it's a great sports town. There's tons of restaurants, but most importantly, there's great businesses there. With Under Armour, Legg Mason, just other companies where our guys can not only get a great basketball experience, a great academic experience, but they can go out and get a great internship. They can meet some professionals that can show them what the world is like on the other side. And we're going to utilize all those tools to again, make ourselves, just be a great product.
Now, Coach, what has been the biggest adjustment for you since moving up that one big seat to being the head man at Loyola and going from being in a long-time assistant? Because I feel like that one seat is always going to be, something crazy there.
Yeah. No, it's funny because, it's something that, I've always learned to be able to progress in any business, you got to do well at your current job first. And like I said before, I've had a chance to work for great head coaches, but I've also coached in 3 great leagues, the Big Ten, the Big East, and the ACC. And so I've been very observant of how other people do things, how other people run their programs. And, of course, I'm going to lean on my life experiences and the way I do things, the way I see things. But I have a great base of knowledge based on the exposure I've had as a coach. And, it's just one of those things where, I knew I was ready. The coaches that I've worked with knew I was ready, but most importantly, my AD, Donna Woodruff, she felt I was ready, and I'm just excited to go do a great job for her because she took a chance on me. So it's been fun this first month or so, however long it's been, just running practices and making decisions, and all my life experiences have prepared me for it. So I'm truly blessed and anxious to keep it going.
Yeah, and also now, Coach, you can make the call, not suggested. You can actually do what you're suggesting now, rather than just give a...
No, absolutely. Absolutely. There's no what do you think? And I mean, I'm going to take opinions and ideas, but at the end of the day, like you said, the buck stops with me, and, I'm excited about that.
Coach, that's why I love going from a co-host to to the main host. Yeah, no more of these. This guest might be a good guest. I can pick the guest I want to have on the show.
Yeah, and if it's wrong, I don't want to hear nothing about it. We're going to move on to the next thing.
Exactly. If that didn't go well, let it go. We're going to move on. You got there.
Yeah. Exactly.
For sure. Now, Coach, you coaching on some great coaches, man. So what's going to be your style of play this year? Are you going to play it fast or play it slow, or kind of based on the talent you have, and defensively, are you going to be a man guy or a zone guy?
Yeah, one thing I've said, and it's a credit to Coach Gigi Smith, who was in the spot before me. I mean, I didn't inherit a roster where I got to redo everything and bring in, a whole new team. There's some players that were left behind that I'm excited to work with. I already got a chance to get on the court with them and sort of learn their games. That was important to me, not to come in and sort of dictate to them this is who we're going to be and how we're going to be. Of course, culturally, we got to do some things that I believe in, and we're going to be great in that area. But I really want to learn how they play and how they do things before I decided on which way we were going to go. But I feel like I got a great base. I feel like recruiting has already been good for me. I've signed 2 kids. So the way we're going to play, when you think about Loyola basketball, obviously it's not the same level of height and athleticism, but think about the Golden State Warriors, think about the Boston Celtics, the San Antonio Spurs, teams that play an open style of basketball. We want to push it up. We want to be aggressive. I want our guys to play freely and loose, but at the same time, the way we're scheduling, we're going to play some teams that are physically more talented than us at times. And we're not silly. We're not going to try to outrun teams that are faster than us. So we want to be efficient. Versatility, there's a premium on versatility for me, offensively and defensively. We're going to have a base defense in man-to-man. We're going to be tough. We're going to be physical. We're going to be, a great communicating team. But I also have coached with some coaches who, we've had a lot of success playing different styles of zones. Both in all 3 spots that I've been at. So, we'll utilize those when necessary. But, one thing I'll tell you is it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting for our fans, and our players are going to get better. As I put together my staff, that's been the key emphasis is player development. It's not about the system. It's about getting guys better and making sure they can play in any style of play. And, once we get that group together, and I think we can get there sooner rather than later, will be fun to watch.
Exactly. Now, Coach, non-conference scheduling-wise, it's probably already done for you for this year. But going forward, you're going to try to play some of those exempt tournaments as well. Maybe try to get Johnathan to play you. Maybe go down, play Georgia Tech, but Coach Patterson's still there. Play those big-name schools. Also, we get some guarantee games for the university to help you out money-wise, of course. And also 2-for-1s that's going to come out there and play you in Baltimore because it's a big city. You're willing to go play there. So how you feel about that non-conference schedule going forward, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, we want to do everything we can to get some great teams to come into Baltimore so that our fans can see us play, some good opponents. And obviously the Patriot League takes care of itself, but hopefully non-conference we can get some guys to come play us at home. But at the same time, and I don't want to talk about next year's schedule specifically yet because we haven't released anything, but we're going to play a very competitive schedule. We got some teams out of the Big East, Big Ten. We're working on some things. Hopefully we can get some more ACC or SEC, but and we're also going to play some local rivalries and, just play a balanced schedule so that our guys can get a lot of different exposure. We're going to recruit, like I said, locally. It's going to be our bread and butter, the Baltimore DMV area. But, we got guys on our roster. We got Isaiah Hart, who's from Georgia. We got Kevon Scott, who's from California. So, where there's opportunities to possibly, get them back home for a game, we'll look to do that if the schedule permits. But, I want to play a competitive schedule, get our guys a lot of different experiences. And like you said, the exempt tournaments are always fun. Get a chance to compete for a championship early in the season, and then hopefully that trickles to, winning championships later on. But, we're going to get after it. We're not going to schedule light. We're going to schedule a competitive schedule so our guys can get a great experience.
You got that right, Coach. Now, with the NCAA kind of bumping things up to 4 hours this off-season workout, so are you going to try to work out an hour a day, maybe with the guys kind of implement some schemes, shell drills, 3-on-3, 5-on-5, so trying to kind of see what you have before you get your tip-off there in October there. So how are you going to play on this summertime with the guys here, Coach?
Yeah, no, it's a unique time in that we're coming in brand new. It actually switches halfway through our summer workout. And so the way I look at it, summer, I want the guys to have some freedom and have some fun. I want them to explore their games and see what they can do and get better at. So I don't plan on, being one of those coaches that's straight putting in system. I want the guys to really concentrate on just getting better, becoming better basketball players. Of course, as we switch over to where we have 4 hours where we get more time, just making sure they understand my voice, understand the things that we're going to want to do, things that I value. We'll make sure that's emphasized. But, I want our guys to improve their bodies. That's one thing I noticed when I walked into the door and started watching them work. We got to get some muscles put on these guys. We got to get guys to be quicker, more athletic, more efficient with their bodies. So I certainly don't want to sacrifice the time we have to be able to do that. But at the same time, like I said, I want them to expand their games. I told them everybody has a clean slate. So if you're the 6'8" post player that's been standing around the block your whole career, this is your chance to show that you're capable of stepping out a little bit, because I'm going to let you do it. But with that freedom comes responsibility to be in the gym and the ball actually has to go in the hole.
Exactly. That's the main key there.
But if it don't go in, then we're gonna figure out a different way to attack it. So, but I'm giving my guys a clean slate and letting them sort of shape their game the way they see fit, and then we'll go from there with system.
Now, Coach, last one I got for you, Coach. What's been your typical day like? I'm pretty sure you're doing interviews, talking to boosters, meeting with the AD, the presidents, other people in the community, meeting with the sponsors. So how's your days been each day? How long are you in office? 10, 12 hours a day, Coach? Are you calling recruits? Talk to us a little bit about it.
Yeah, no, it's a unique time. I got 4 kids, 4 wonderful kids, and an amazing wife that are still in Atlanta. And so being in Baltimore, grinding, sort of without the pressure of coming home and and making sure the kids were doing what they were supposed to do too, has sort of helped with the transition. Again, it's true credit to my wife for being such a soldier and allowing me this freedom and responsibility. But for the most part, my day is, I get up pretty early. I like to get to the office and start grinding. I got to mix my workout in at some point, but all the things you just said beforehand, as far as meetings and, putting together, whether it's scheduling, whether it's hiring coaches, whether it's getting on the court with the guys, whether it's recruiting, of course, I'm just spending all day doing all those things. But, it's a blessing to be in this opportunity. I'm actually home right now, probably not far from you guys. My kids are outside having a water gun fight because we got an NCAA dead period. But it's nonstop. My wife has been great as far as, understanding that I'm home, but I still got to grind. And I cherish that aspect of what we do.
Yeah, Coach, we're over here on Northside Drive, Coach. That's where we at. So that's probably not too far away from you.
Yep. Now we're out in Smyrna, actually.
I love coming out to Smyrna when ain't a Brave game. You get all that traffic out
there. Yeah.
Yeah, Coach.
Yep. Now, the cool part about it, we got different routes.
Yeah, you got that right. You got that right, man. Well, Coach, I'm happy for you. I'm saying Coach Paris, I've known for years when he was in Memphis, the Georgia Tech. So having you move on is a great thing. I know he's a great guy, great coach. So look forward to covering you guys, coming to Baltimore, see you guys play, because I got friends. One of my buddies, Anthony Levine, plays on the Ravens, so maybe I can get y'all together. He can help y'all out a little bit, He donate to y'all, because he's a good man. He's played for the Ravens number 41.
Absolutely.
Anthony Levine Sr. That's one of my best friends.
No, I'd love to have him come by. Tell him, we're not just trying to, pack our gym with alums and fans and students, although that's very, very important to us. But we want the whole city of Baltimore to get behind us. There's no professional basketball team in Baltimore. We want to be that city team. So I know we got to earn that right, but we want everybody to get excited about what we're doing in the whole city.
I'm with you, Coach. I'll definitely let him know that, Coach. So, Coach, it's been a great pleasure having you on the show, Coach. Look forward to doing it again with you real soon, man.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Bossman show. It's time for this week's reality report. Not the reality report. I think email said to us. It's the reality report here with Boss and Jay Monique. Reality insider Jay Monique. Jay, what is good? What's you got for us in this week's reality report?
Well, the first thing for the reality report is with Real Housewives of Potomac. For those who watch that, that's another branch of the Real Housewives franchise. And on Real Housewives of Potomac, Robin Dixon says that Monique Samuels has an inner beef, hatred, and obsession with her and Giselle Bryant. Well, because since throughout the season, Monique has been having issues with Giselle and Robin. Robin and Giselle happen to be like BFFs on the show. Like everywhere Giselle is, Robin is for the most part. Almost whatever Giselle does, Robin pretty much does. So what happened is that in the most recent episode, there was an issue brought up about Monique Samuels possibly having a drinking problem because she got into a car accident after she was hanging out for the day with Ashley Darby. And when Monique Samuels initially brought up her car accident, she mentioned it in context as in she's so busy and so tired, so she fell asleep at the wheel before she crashed and fell into a ditch. But she didn't expect it to turn into a storyline. So Monique, she wrecked her car after she went out to lunch with Ashley, who claimed that Monique had 4 drinks before she was driving. So now Ashley, Giselle, and Robin are questioning Monique's drinking habits. So Robin, recently, her and Monique, and also their other friend Karen, was having. It was like a perfume smelling event. And Monique almost could not contain herself anymore for Ashley because she's mad because Ashley went behind her back to say that she had a drinking problem and that she had 4 drinks, whereas in Monique's eyes, she only had 2. You know how reality is. They're going to find any type of petty reason to beef with each other. So Robin says that when Monique started going off on Ashley, she couldn't believe it. The way how she was screaming, turning red, and calling a name. And she felt that if Ashley really exaggerated the amount of drinks that Monique had, Monique should have taken her own advice and addressed Ashley while they were out of town. Because they just recently got back from being out of town. All the ladies went out of town. They had a wonderful time. And Monique really didn't confront Ashley there. She kind of just still went with the flow. So even though she was apparently offended by Ashley bringing that up about her, she waited until the girls got back in town to confront her at an event. So that's where Robin Dixon is coming from. It's about Monique just like being out of control, going off on Ashley, and her and Ashley should have friends. They come to the side and just bring it up when. Because I'm like, this petty stuff he's mad at.
You got that right.
Yep, so that's it for the Real Housewives of Potomac. And the next thing is about the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. Even though the reunion was some time ago, it's really more regarding Andy Cohen. And Andy Cohen says that he wished that he would have walked off of the Real Housewives reunion. He recently visited the Jenny McCarthy show on Sirius XM last week to promote Love Connection, but he ended up spilling a lot of tea about the Real Housewives. And Andy shared his real feelings about the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion and how he never thought Kim Zolciak Berman's bathroom moment would see the light of day. So when he's referring to her bathroom moment at the end of the show, like when everybody already walked off stage from the reunion, apparently Kim was having like some type of meltdown in the bathroom. And the producers still caught it on film. So Andy was thinking that was just a candid moment where he went into the bathroom to talk with her and kind of calm her down. He didn't expect that to actually end up on TV.
Petty.
And when he was on the show, he said that I hated a 5 against 1 situation because it's a gang up. And the problem is that Kim, it's less problematic when the person is good at taking up for themselves. Kim was not having an easy time with her words. She was making it harder for herself. So during the reunion, like while, so-and-so would say XYZ to her, she wasn't really like expressing herself, in a feasible way. So that was kind of getting underneath Andy's skin. And Andy also explained that at one point during the final segment of the reunion, no one was even listening to him, and he didn't have any control of the room. And that's when he said, I wish I would have walked off. I've never walked off. Everyone else has. And then the next day, he was saying to himself, damn it, you should have walked off. As for the aftermath of the reunion, when Kim demanded Andy come in the bathroom to listen to her long list of complaints, Andy says he had no idea the footage would be usable. In fact, he even told producers afterward, there's nothing interesting here.
I was going to try to get you.
Oh, they are going to try to get you. Our reality show, anytime the cameras are rolling, no matter how insignificant you may think it is, the producers will find a way to use that footage if they feel that it's going to get some type of reaction from the audience. That's all I got to say about that as far as the Real Housewives reunion.
Gotta be smarter than that. He wasn't smarter than that.
Got to be smart. Got to be. And the next one, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So on the last episode, Kirk and Rashida were in New York laying his mother to rest. And we had learned last week during a very somber moment that his mother had passed at the end of the episode when he told Rashida. And Kirk was thankful for Rashida being there for him during his time of need. And he let her know that he is grateful for her being in his life. I think that's a little, that's a little, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but this is just my opinion. I think it's a little tacky to show, on a reality show, somebody's mother's funeral. That's just my opinion on that.
It's very tacky.
There's so many other things to film. Yeah.
I'm in agreement with that, but they got used as a storyline. They got used as a storyline.
Video for the whole world to see.
I mean, you profiting off your mama's death pretty much. Now, I can't respect it.
And that's just not cool. On both parties, and his end and the ones and the producers who filmed it. You don't do that.
Terrible.
And also, the next thing about Love and Hip Hop, Erica brought up Stevie J and about not wanting to work with him. And since Erica brought up Stevie, Spice decides to spill the beans on Estelita and the fact that she is still messing around with her manager. And Erica is not too pleased.
The good guy.
I mean, when Estelita first came in, it was supposed to be all about business. I mean, she even said from the get that it's just supposed to be about business and nothing more. And then here we are.
Hey, look.
Is anybody surprised? I mean,
he was my homie. I'll holler at him. She cool though. She cool to be around. She cool.
Yeah, she seems that way.
Erica Mena, nah, she messy. I don't want her nowhere in sight.
Uh-oh.
She can take her back to New York. Yo, son, go to New York, son. Go take the government to New York, son. We don't need that down here. I don't hear about yo sons and mad and what. I don't need that crap around me. Go ahead, go back to New York. Yo, son. Yeah, yo, son. Go to New York, son. Do that, son. Sucker. Okay, Jay. Once again.
That's pretty much it for Love and Hip Hop.
What songs came out for Love and Hip Hop that we heard of? I'm still waiting on a Love and Hip Hop song actually come out in real life. With this Spice chick, she real cute. Well, she got a big booty. She ain't real cute. If you ask me, she got a big ass. But besides her song didn't come out. What songs that came out from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta? I don't know any.
I heard none of their songs.
I don't get it. We went on my music. What music? I don't see it. Am I missing something?
I don't think you're missing anything because I've never heard any of their music. Estelita, she was on from last season or so. I've never heard not one of her songs. I've never heard any of her songs. I haven't heard anything from Spice or any of these people.
Okay, at the risk of making my friend mad, but I'm gonna say it. I don't know a song that Stevie J's Data Zones put out. I'm being real. That's my dude.
You're just being real. I mean, you calling it as it is. I mean, I've never heard any of it.
Maybe I don't looking hard enough, but I ain't heard it, Jay.
Looking hard enough.
Woo-wee, folks. That's the reality report for this week. catches again this week. Check us out. Jay on Twitter, Rally Accepted. Check her out. She got the Rally tea for you here on her site and the Bossman Show. Here on the Bossman Show, 3-Man Weave. Today gonna be a special 3-Man Weave. We're gonna talk about the NFL's new national anthem rule, where if players come out, they must stand. If they kneel, teams can be fined. There'll be a 15-yard penalty for kneeling, and players in the locker room if they want to, but they can't come out until they kneel. And bruh, I'm really not disappointed. It's not shocking, but it's pretty much NFL saying that white concern and white tears matter. Black lives don't matter, bro.
Yeah, same old. Basically, the NFL is further trying to perpetuate the lie that players who kneel are disrespecting the flag or against the flag. The NFL once again missing the point of what it was all about. And like I said, now this ruling now the NFL is trying to come down with, it just further plays into the fact that they're still clueless about what the whole issue was in the first place, man.
Exactly. We see Stephon Clark being killed in Sacramento. We seen 65-year-old grandmother here in Atlanta dragged out of her car. Former Falcon player in Henry County, the county in which I live in, which could happen to me. I live in Henry County, dragged out of the car. And the NFL refused to acknowledge the issue. And it's like Roger Goodell, being the buffoon he is. I don't care. I'm going to call him a buffoon on air. I don't give a care. Cowering to that imbecile in D.C. who's president of this country, who's one of the most dirtiest individuals on the face of this earth. And I'm going to say it. I don't care. I don't care if I offend my Caucasian or MAGA supporters. I don't give a damn today. I'm a Dominican and black man first, American second. Okay? Screw that. Now, America don't respect me and my people. I'm going to call it out on this radio show. So y'all get mad, screw you. The dirtiest man in the world, bruh. You going to cower to him. 70% of the league is black or minority. You're going to silence their voice because these old, hardened, racist white people have a problem with it and are turning patriotism into racism and using the flag to cover their racism. That what the black people say don't matter. Oh, get over it. You're making a bunch of money. It's like they don't give a care about where we come from. As that Laura Ingram says, wants to shut up and play football and be their dark entertainment on the field, hitting each other.
Hey, bro, and at this point, I understand, players, you're feeding your families, you're making a living, you're trying to get your money. But this league is obviously showing you that you are property. You know what I'm saying? They have no respect for you whatsoever. I don't understand how you don't strike at this point. I know it's going to probably be a labor strike coming up when the CBA in 2020, when it's time to redo the CBA deal. But if you're, a leader on your team, somebody that all the guys look up to, how do you not do something at this point? Exactly. Because it makes no sense, man. Like, they're once again, you're going to tell me that if I decide to kneel, you telling me to stay in the locker room, a grown man to stay in the locker room and not, exercise my constitutional right on the field? Come on, get out of here, man. Like, I want to see somebody do something. I love the NFL. I love the NFL for, you know what I'm saying, as far as the years and years of fandom that, and all the, great highlights and memories of watching the Cowboys and, throughout the years. Like, I'm a Cowboy fan, but at the end of the day, I'm a man, and I recognize that the NFL don't care about us. You know what I'm saying? That Jerry Jones, the Cowboys really don't care about us. But at the same time, we still gonna spend money and and support it. And like that's not gonna change. And then these players, like, they feel like that they making money and they can't really voice how they feel because they're gonna get cut or get Kaepernick, basically. It's just a weird dynamic that's going on in the league that you don't see happening in the NBA. Hell, Major League Baseball, has shown more love, more respect towards us, and it's not even a whole lot of us playing baseball, so it's just weird, man, and I don't know what to make of it. Like, I'm a fan, but at the same time, it's like, wow, like it's just the hypocrisy and just the idiocy of the league and the owners and the commissioner, and they're all just, really just, perpetuating, false narratives about what it was all about to begin with the protest.
Well, bro, I can tell you, I used to be a Cowboy fan. I'm not anymore, because seeing Jerry Jones pretty much bleep on me and my people and actually putting it in words and in black and white, I was done. Seeing the way Dak Prescott tap dances for the man, and I said it, he tap dance for the man, and the way Dez Bryant tap dance for the man. Look at where his ass is at. Where did it get you, tap dancing? Where did tap dancing get you? I ain't gonna say what I want to say. I'm gonna say tap dancing because we got some affiliates here. I don't want to lose them. So I'm gonna say tap dancing for the man. Not what I really want to say. Where did it get you? I'm not going to support it. I'm indifferent now to any team. I don't have a fandom anymore. I'm indifferent. I just do it for my job now. I was a Cowboy fan, but Jerry Jones bleeping on my people, screw that. And I'm disappointed in Arthur Blank. He talks about players have freedom to choose, blah, 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 but he voted for his rule today.
Right. Yeah.
The
only owner that abstained from voting was the 49ers owner, the young guy.
And then I hear Christopher Johnson. You say you'll play a player's flag when Neil, why'd you vote for the rule? It's like you're trying to appease both sides. Pick a damn side,
Right.
That's not play the line. And the NFLPA, JC, better step up to the plate this time and fight.
You got to.
When they fought for Tom Brady, you better fight for this. Because you're pretty much letting these rich white men oppress your black player's voice. This is a rule pretty much saying, boy, you ain't going to rise up against me. I'm your master. You do what I say. I'm your owner. This is a modern day slavery. I don't care if people out here, oh God, he said, yes, modern day slavery, JC. If you don't do as I will tell you what to think and what to do. And if you don't do it, I'm on the consequence of a penalty. Or you can't come out to play or to the pasture unless you do as I say. That's what it boils down to. I know people feel uncomfortable about it, JC. I don't care, bro. But as a black man, and you as a black man, we see the bigger picture. And I do not allow the projection of white privilege tell me how to think and how to feel. As a black man in this country. Because you don't know how we feel.
Man, you really saying something now, boss. That's all. Like I said, everybody's tap dancing on the issue right now. And it's not gonna save your job. It's not gonna save your position within the league, man. Like once they think they, gotten everything they can get out, everything they can get out of you. You know what I'm saying? You on the decline. You gonna get cut too. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So,
that's why.
Yeah.
Stand for something or fall for anything. Like
as well, man.
Like think about this. If these players bonded together, all the blacks with some of their white compadres, then as the Warriors the saying is, bro, there's strength in numbers. They can't cut all of you. They can't fire all of you. If you all got together and said, we're going to sit out for a week to prove a point, things will change.
That's what it's going to have to take, man. And that's exactly what it's going to have to take. But of course, nobody's going to do that.
Exactly. So it's just like the NFL players have to actually be willing to lose a week of pay to prove a point for it. And guess what? It could be a turning point. It'll make these rich, white, no good owners see, damn, my players really care about this. We got, and it'll of course, it'll be those MAGA people who they're scared of, who gonna be and moan about it, but they're actually more progressives as millennials come up, as people see how the MAGA way of thinking is bad. Look at all these school shootings. Look at all this corruption and collusion you have with the presidency and the Congress right now. The MAGA brand is only for a certain percent of people. There's more non-MAGA than is MAGA people. So, stand up to that crowd. Do something, bro. Like, this rule is pretty much saying, black man, do what I say, screw you, I'm your owner, and I don't care what you think about it, it's over. We're cutting your ability to speak out against us out, pretty much. And we'll see where they stand, bro. I mean, if they don't do nothing about it, whatever.
Hey, man, like I said, hey, you don't take a stand now, man. You're going to look back on this and realize, hey, you know, you didn't do your part, man. Like I said, if they just all stood together, it can make change like a ripple years from now. You know, maybe not immediate change, but change that can happen down the road, and that's what it's all about, man.
Exactly. It's about having a backbone, bruh. I know this was a heavy one today, but I know this is Memorial Day weekend, Clicks in May. So last weekend of that. So what is the last move for Clicks in May tonight, bruh?
Bruh, well, you know, when we talked last Saturday, you know, we had the hashtag LBM, Little Booties Matter, twerk contest. All right, and that was a success, man. Matter of fact, boss, I got to send you some video from last weekend.
Please
man.
Do.
But yes, sir. But man, we gonna do something special again, man. You know, Clicks in May is going down tonight, this Saturday night. We're gonna do our thing, man, up in there, the livest party spot in the city of Memphis, man. #1 karaoke spot in the city of Memphis, man. Clicks, Sports Bar, and Billiards. Come holler at us, man. JC, Three Kings. It's what we do, man. We run karaoke in the city. #1 spot, man. Clicks in May. Come check us out.
No doubt, folks. 3-man week. They're JC. Boss. We out.